Hi, it's Colby. I was wondering if you were actually, still doing the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to Aqua Radio, episode number 14. It is May 26th, 2008, and I'm your host, Shravan Warez, and joining me through the magic of the interwebs is Warez.
Sweet cup and cakes. Aqua Radio, back from the dead.
We weren't ever dead, Warez.
No, we were never dead.
We were just buried alive, that's what we were.
To listen to some of our detractors and our naysayers, yeah, we were. But we'd like to say thank you to all those who kept the faith and did not say nay.
A special thanks to Colby for that voicemail, just so I could use it right there in that intro.
Sweet.
I was just going through the emails and everything. I was like, I hope someone left a voicemail, and they did. Thanks, Colby.
Yeah, so I had all good intentions of doing the solo thing, and
We have proof.
We have proof, or where's haters out there now? Yeah, okay. Roll the sample, please, sir. Hello, and welcome to Aqua Road Radio, episode number 13. It's February 17th, 2008, and I'm your host, Warez. And joining him, of course, is nobody. Sniffers. Mr. Lonely. He's so lonely. Nah. Woot woot for Warez. Well. Anyway, this gives me an opportunity to make a general call for guests and co-host. This will be the format for deciding who gets selected. You, dear listeners, will send in an installment of one of our features in an MP3 format. This will accomplish several things at once. It will serve as an audition for you in front of me and, more importantly, the other listeners. It will show several of your attributes. 1, that you're capable of playing the game. 2, that you can do research and investigate quests and what have you. Simply reading from an existing guide or a website isn't going to cut it. What we want here is your personal slant and your unbiased opinion. 3, it will give me a feel for possible chemistry between you and me. And finally, it will show that you have recording capability and the rudiments of sound editing. Now, this solution, a very clever one if I do say so myself, will provide me with the help and flexibility I need to carry on with this podcast. If I get an overwhelming response to one particular person, I will consider them as a possible host situation. It would have to be someone pretty special to replace Shravan.
So you're actually going to start with that, replacing me right off the bat.
That's right. First order of business.
Thoughtful.
Temporarily. It's all temporary.
I'm on to you, Warez.
No, it's all in the spirit of communityness.
Well, speaking of the spirit of communityness, we have a insanely long episode for you guys today.
Oh my god.
7 patches that we discuss.
Or is it 6? 7?
Something more than we need to.
A crazy number. How's that?
Too many. Alright, so we have news for you guys.
News.
Aqua Road Radio News.
Okay, we've got a long line of patches. Starting off with the last patch we should have covered, 4.9.
So what
Okay.
happened in 4.9? Where's
We got Liefre.
we did get Leah free?
We sure did.
Is it as pretty and like musicful as everyone says it is?
Yes, it is.
I still haven't been there. I need to check it out sometime.
That's nuts. You have to come.
I don't even know how to get there. How do you get to Leah Free? Where's?
Well, you can take a ride from Orbis, which costs a lot, but you got to do it every once. You got to ride the bird. Everybody's got to ride the bird. You know what's cool about the bird?
Is it a glitchable bird?
No, this isn't like the hack glitch thing. No.
Oh, that's another hack.
This is a much bigger bird than hack. You can be on there with a bunch of people. The thing is, he's a big fat bird, and you can climb on his face. Try it once when you get on there.
You can climb on his face.
You can jump up and climb on his face. Wonderful. Everybody's got to do it at least once. It's pointless, but it's fun. So that's it costs like $30K, I think. It's kind of pricey, I think. But
is that one way?
Yeah, one way.
Wow. Okay.
And that takes you to the port area in Liefre, or you can buy magic seeds from the mayor in Liefre, and then 2 maps to the left there is a portal in a big tree, and that teleports you directly to a map to the left of Alenia.
Are the magic seeds just as expensive?
Yes, they start out expensive, but here's the trick. A lot of people probably know this, but if you give drops that you get around the town, if you give them to the mayor, if you give them enough, the price goes down.
Oh.
So the thing is, you just keep giving and giving and giving, and eventually the price comes way, way down. It was 12K for me. I finally got it down to 8K, and I believe it just keeps going down. But by the time it's 8K, you've had to give him amazing amounts of drops. These are all etc. drops, by the way, not other types of drops.
Right. But things that you could be selling for good money.
Well, I don't know about good money.
Nah, it adds up.
It adds up, this is true. So, we also got a bunch of other stuff, some very, very useful stuff.
One of the things is actually said better by Spaz Cakes. So
yeah, let her say it.
Yeah, let's have her say it.
They changed the ship price from Alenia to Orbis. Okay, this is Spaz Cakes, level 3X fighter now on Craudia, and I am doing the Maple History Books quest. And I'm one of those really cheap people who go on the ride to Orbis, see if the box with the book is there, and if it's not, I just go back to, I change channels and go back to Alenia. Well, I didn't notice that after patch 4.9, I think, they updated the ship price from like 6K, I think it was, to 80K. 80K, that's like a lot. So I went from like my 500K down to like 20K in about 10 minutes. Okay, there's my rant. Okay. Bye.
So the Orbis Rise was glitched.
Yeah.
How long did it take them to fix it?
3 weeks, if I remember correctly. Basically,
they didn't have like a server check or anything?
I think it had to wait till the next patch, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, though. But yeah, basically, instead of typing 8,000, somebody added another 0. Something as simple as that. And you've screwed up life for
everybody.
100,000 noobs for...
Even if you're not a noob, 80K is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money
regardless.
For a ticket ride.
I mean, it's more than double the trip to Leah Free.
True.
It was all right, what else do we have?
Colossal screw up. We got skills for the 4th job.
Spiffy.
And one of them is a universal skill where you can scroll any item instead of just items for your job. The legendary spirit skill.
Wait, it's a 4th job skill?
No, well, I was lumping them together.
Oh, okay.
My bad. We got a bunch of new skills available, but that's one that anybody can use. I don't remember if there's a lower level limit to it. I think there is, but I can't remember what it is, what the level is. We also got HP bars and monster names under the monsters.
Which I still haven't tried yet.
Oh, you got to.
I mean, it's nice to know what all these monsters are called, considering you're fighting them all the time.
That's true.
Especially these random ones like the red drakes and stuff that you generally don't hear about.
Yep. We also got world maps. Oh, nice maps.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
I've seen posted pictures of them before, but not all of them. And there's some that were actually new when they got them. I believe Mysteria was a new map when we got it.
Wait, is that New Leaf City?
Yes.
So wait, they now have maps of the wolf caverns and everything?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty rough one, but yeah. And they're useful if you're partied with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see them on that map.
On the world map?
Correct.
Oh, didn't know that at all. That is actually very useful.
Yeah, I forgot about that part until now. So where you are is I believe it's a blinking dot, and then your party members are like a hollow dot. I think it's something like that. I haven't looked at it in a while.
That's actually pretty cool.
It is.
And then, in addition to all that, they got the buff and skill timers.
Thank you. Very useful.
Which are so incredibly helpful. Instead of just running back and forth, and all of a sudden your magic card dies, and then you die soon after.
Usually.
So that was a big help.
Yes. And then they rounded it off by giving us a bunch of cash, shop, crap.
I mean, what can you do? They just keep piling it on.
Oh yeah, it's got to be new stuff all the time so that people are always tempted to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people like that, so I'm not gonna slander too hard.
At least not this time.
I'll save for another episode. Okay, moving on to the next patch. Patch 5.0. Stuff happened. Okay, moving on to the next patch.
Yeah, we don't remember what happened. Actually, I wasn't even there, and apparently they messed up the the text files.
Yes, on the F2, yeah, and they basically posted the announcements for patch 4.9 into patch 5.0.
And they changed the title, so it says patch 5.0, but that's the only thing that changed.
Nice.
But we figured that 6 patches later by now, you guys would know what's already in there, and we have no clue where to find it. So stuff happened.
Yeah, we're just summing up anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
So 0.51.
Yep. We got
oodles and oodles of quests.
Oodles, bundles, bunches, and we also got a new set of trading cards. That is the OMG boss set,
which apparently gave you a lot of stuff, right? It changed around the economy of ITCG.
Yes. This was an interesting development that I had a keen interest in. We first got the trading card items. They started to circulate through the FMs and what have you, and everything was expensive right away because people thought these things were right. But then people figured out what made what, and so only the things that made the very in-demand items were expensive. Everything else dropped around to such a low price that you practically couldn't give it away. But then the thing that is funny is that when the next set of trading cards comes out, it turns out some of these things that everyone thought was worthless are actually desired items to make the next generation of very desirable items. And so things that were going away for 100K are all of a sudden worth 40 million or 20 million or 15 million.
It's quite the profit.
Oh yes, it was.
Benefiting off of that.
I did a little bit of speculating along these lines. And yeah, there's a lot of luck involved because you don't know what's what.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wound up with a bunch of things that are still useless.
Which hopefully, when the third set comes out,
we'll
make that jump once again.
If I can keep holding on to them.
I mean, that's what mules are for, right?
Oh, that's what mules are for, yeah, exactly.
Moving on to 0.52, we have an official announcement that Fangblade is the first to reach level 200.
Right. And I think we're close to a dozen now.
Something like that.
Something
between 6 and 12. And then everyone else is really close. Like, there's a lot of 190s. A lot. But no one's just making that push. Which is like, I don't know, probably a 100 million at least push by then.
Good grief.
Too much experience.
That's a
all the
lot
time.
of kills.
So another thing, the big thing that we were looking for, is actually
a horntail. It's kind of like Zachem, and you could get a party of people. I don't know if there's any like prerequisites like the like Zachem, but anyways, you get a party together and you guys fight this. It's big dragon. Consists of like 6 or 7 different parts to it, and it drops a horntail necklace, and it's kind of like the Z helm. Gives us pluses to all your stats and everything.
Yeah, A7zX sent that in.
73.
And 73?
Yeah.
73. My apologies. So anyway, John sent this. There, we'll go with that.
Okay.
But yeah, for Horntail, what's this necklace thing that he mentioned, Where's?
It is something similar to the Zachem helmet. It is a very, very spiffy equip. I believe clean when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
It has +7 to all stats. And then
Wow,
you can get the eggs. Once you get the egg, it's like a scroll that you can scroll the thing with. I believe it's got 3 slots, and the eggs are each 60% success. You have to take the eggs out of the cave, and then you go up to the very high peak nest.
Mm-hmm.
And you use them there. You scroll it there. And each set gives you what? I can't remember. But
something extravagant.
Yes, but if they all succeed, what did I say? 50 plus 52.
2?
I think. To all
each set.
Holy cry!
That is a hell of a lot. Then again, if you're killing Horntail enough, and these eggs, do they only drop one at a time, or can you only hold one at a time?
I think it's a random drop from the Horntail kill.
So if you're killing Horntail enough, chances are you're up by the 200s anyway. And so the plus 52 boost, you're going to need it for, I guess, the things to come to kill Horntail more.
I guess.
I mean, there's nothing else to kill after you've beaten Horntail.
Unless they figure out something else for us all to do.
Eventually. I'll give them a few, decades of patches first. But for the lower levels, we have another amazing establishment. And Spiegelmann came into the field and is in every single town, I believe.
Monster Carnival Party Quest. Oh lordy, what fun.
It's so much fun.
This is MapleStory's version of player versus player. It's a little bit toned down from that you might find in other games, but basically what you have is a team from 2 to 6 players,
mm-hmm.
and you compete killing monsters. You can do various things like, I should step back a little bit. You kill the monsters, and then you get carnival points. You accumulate enough of them, and you can use them to inflict extra monsters on your opponents. Various effects. You can buff up the monsters that are attacking them. When that happens, mm-hmm. there's little crystals that spawn on the upper platforms on the maps that you're on. What they'll have to do then is climb up there and hit them until they break them in order to knock these effects off, to shut these effects down.
Oh.
So there's a lot of strategy involved, and it's not necessarily which classes and how high their levels are that determine the winner. A lot of it is strategy, and it changes depending on what map you're on, how many players on the team, and what they are composed of, what classes and levels they are composed of. So your strategies change from game to game. It's very interesting. I've enjoyed playing it a lot.
It's a lot of fun. As a general rule of thumb, if you take in a strength cleric, you're going to lose multiple times.
You know this from personal experience.
I do. Healing 3 HP per heal doesn't constitute anywhere near winning.
Fail.
No, yeah, much fail. But it still is a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, actually, chances are you have, unless you're up at level 170 something, racing to 200. Take time off, because it's definitely worth playing. It is a lot of fun, and it's only 31 to 50.
Correct.
I believe. Yeah.
Correct, and it's turned out to be so popular that the Ludi Party Quest place is often completely abandoned.
One person in Channel 1, last time I checked, which was like yesterday. Nobody was there.
Well, that could be an advantage.
Well, I mean, you don't have 6 people. It's impossible to find 6 people
Well,
to go through.
you'd have to organize your party before you went there.
Right. But all in all, it is a lot of fun. Do go try it out.
5.2 was a colossally huge patch, because we also got the typical Easter stuff. The same stuff we got the year before. The Iggy
Bunny
Pops,
eggs.
and making Easter baskets, which were the safety charms, and the Mad Bunny, and all that good stuff.
And then there was caves added in Leah Free somewhere, along with all the monsters that everyone already knew about and were already in Maple, but they put them in the cave.
I don't know what this is about.
Something about caves. And then more cash shop crap.
More crap.
Always more crap. Except in patch 0.53.
No crap?
Well, if there was, it wasn't highlighted enough for us to mention it.
5.3 was a pretty tiny patch. We got the subway timer for the subway from Turning City to NLC, and we got the Maple Trading System, MTS.
Which we have John talking about once again.
Cut to John.
The trade system, and what it is people can auction off items like equips and stuff like that for NX, and I think that Nexon was kind of smart to do this because well, I guess it could go either way. I mean, you can't use, you have to go out and buy the cards, the NX cards. So I think that did a good job with this, in my opinion, just because, you know, people that get a lot of NX can buy items that they need, and people that, you know, can't get NX can get NX for having, you know, like godly scrolled items or something. And this is really just going to increase Nexon's revenue even more.
Okay, so thanks to John sending in that voicemail, we kind of had another segment we could just slip in right there.
Yo, thank you very much.
It worked really well. Speaking slowly, understandable, clearly, not mumbling. It's good. It makes good airways.
He's good. I like his style.
Definitely. Spaz Cakes was good too.
Oh yeah, she was.
All right. Okay, moving on. We had
patch 4 or patch 5.4.
Which had Showa.
Well, Kitty Showa, as we like to say.
No swords, no guns.
Yes.
But all the sound effects.
Yes. So they couldn't take. They had a hard time taking the motions or the sound effects out. Apparently, all they did was put pixels over the guns and the swords and the bricks. So you know, when one of the bosses or leaders attack you, they'll be like holding a phone or a pillow or something else, but it's making a gun sound. It's hilarious.
That's horrible. You think that they'd put a little more effort into that if they wanted to actually censor it.
It's a little bit better than I make it sound, but you should go check it out. Have you been there?
I have actually been there.
Okay.
The sauna is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Apparently it leads over to red slimes, which are not actually bad experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think those are the same devil slimes as from the Guild Party Quest, actually.
I believe they sure look the same.
That's actually pretty cool.
Right, so you go through the sauna. There's only one map of them, though, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's like a hidden map in the second faucet or something.
Yes, it is. I like.
I'm sure everyone's found it by now.
Yeah, it's the sauna is a nicely done map. I like it. It's pretty cool. And shame on you people. Shame on you people who are sneaking into the opposite gender's room. Stop that.
I don't even know how that works.
Warez shakes his finger at you, nasty, sassy people.
I didn't even know there was options for like going into a certain sex's bathroom.
It's kind of an exploit, so it's kind of it's a harmless one. So I'm not going to slam people hard for it. But shame on you, shame on you.
You know what really bothers me about Showa?
What's that?
Everyone turns into animals before they die. Like all the animals you see in Mulong somehow came flying over the stork, took a ship to Victoria, and then like came to Zipangu and decided to settle.
No, my friend, those some of those monsters that I see, the raccoon and stuff, that's from the woods outside of Mushroom Temple.
Oh, it isn't Mulong. You're right.
Right. So it is correspond to its locale there. So,
but still, animal people.
It's weird. Yes, I guess. Well, this is so that we're not really killing people. We're killing monsters who are disguised as people, and it's another way that they turn Showa into Kitty Showa.
Because raccoons with flaming tails can pull that off.
Wow, those raccoons, pretty clever.
Skill.
Pretty clever.
Must be a fourth job skill.
I didn't know that raccoons got fourth jobs. Amazing.
Apparently they get something imitating higher life forms.
I guess. Anyway, patch 5.4. That is what brought us the Maple anniversary and the events.
Yes. And with that came a lot of good stuff.
Goodies. Maple.
Except for that giant cake.
Well,
I don't like it.
You don't like him?
No.
No, yeah. 50 million HP. It's going to take a while to take him down. It just doesn't seem like it's worth all the work.
And he deals a lot of damage too, like 300 something, at least to level 10.
Oh yeah, that'd be scary. you know what's nasty though. Like if he spawns in Alenia, he'll be on one of that upper main plat up there that goes all the way across, and he'll often be cornered right on the entrance that you come in from. From the Parian direction. So a lot of times you'll be fighting the thing there, and all of a sudden, like, a couple of noobs will come through, and they'll come through 1, die, 2, die, 3, die. Like, oh, that's sad.
That's depressing. They put it in such a vital location. At least in Kierning, it's on, like, the upper, like, by Nina, and so even the people at the carrying party quest don't get hurt by that.
Oh, okay, sure.
But yeah, disregarding the cake, we have all the other cakes.
Oh yes, lovely. They are like sweet cupcakes, I think is what they're called. I'm not sure. Oh, then they got the 3 on them because it's the 3rd anniversary, and they're on a lot of maps that lower to mid levels will be training on. And they have a drop, which is a power up. It's the sweet cream filled cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that give? It gives
no idea.
plus 15 accuracy, plus 10 jump and speed, plus 15 nice. Avoidability for like 3 minutes. It's really sweet, but only for about 3 minutes. So it comes and it goes, but you can get if you train on these cakes or these cupcakes, you can rack up a lot of them. I've got one noob who I've gotten like close to 200 of these things on, and they're good training.
Because they don't deal damage.
They don't damage you. Nice.
You don't even feel recoil. It's beautiful. You can walk right through them.
Exactly.
I really like how they did that, just because the candles and the Easter eggs that were walking around last year, because I wasn't around here for this year's, but those were so annoying.
Those were noob killers.
Especially the eggs. They walk up and they kick you in the face.
Boing, boing, boing.
Repeatedly.
Yes. Mean.
Very mean.
Rotten eggs.
They don't even have eyes. And they still follow you around.
How do they do that?
Must be like some kind of sense like sharks have or something.
Okay, so you also can go to the Maple admins and get something called a GM blessing.
Which is so beautiful.
Oh, God. You can get it every 90 minutes. It only lasts for 60 minutes, but that is 60 minutes of sweet training.
I believe it gives you plus 20 weapon attack and magic attack.
Yes.
As well as plus 20 jump and plus 20 speed and plus 100 weapon defense and magic defense.
It is incredible.
Beautiful for the lower levels.
It's even very useful for the upper levels.
I was fighting in the slime tree at level 8 or level 9, I believe. Fighting at Pig Beach at level like 13. It's beautiful. Ooh, I completely didn't take advantage of Hime's during this time.
Well, why not?
So should have. I don't know. I completely forgot about that because
your maple instincts are all weak.
Yeah,
you're out of maple shape, my friend.
They'll be tuned in good time.
Ah, okay, good. It's like riding a bike, right?
Yeah, you don't forget. You just fall off a lot.
Okay, so we've also been getting maple weapons dropping. Nice.
A lot of maple weapons.
A lot of them. Now we've got all the stuff from last year, which was some nice stuff, especially for deckless, luckless, whatever list. Except we don't have the shield. Man, does that suck?
There's no maple shield this time around?
There's no maple shields, as far as I know. Now
That's annoying.
we were all also supposed to get what everyone thought we were going to get, higher level, job specific maple shields.
Oh, I have seen things about those.
Right.
Pictures and stuff about certain elemental maple weapons as well.
Oh yeah, that's something else we didn't get too. But no shields. None of the shields are dropping. At least I don't think they are. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any evidence anywhere except for like 1 or 2 basal auctions that are up, and I believe they're fake.
Oh, they might be selling the same shield from last year.
No, I'm talking about the level 64. It's a made shield. As far as I know, we don't have it in Global at all. So it's got to be a fraudulent auction.
So yeah, beware of the auctions.
Yes, be careful.
Definitely. In addition, we got a bunch of new quests, like everywhere.
All over the place.
I believe this is where this is the patch that we got the new Maple Island quest as well. I think Maya has an extra quest, the one who gives you the hat usually. Lucas, the guy you deliver that letter to, has an extra quest. And there's like a couple more quiz kind of quest things around. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. In addition, when you get your first job, they give you free stuff.
Yeah.
It's completely new. So, I actually started an archer, and they give us like 6,000 arrows right off the bat. Still haven't gone through them. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
It's very helpful for someone who's new to the game. Remember how I said they launch you into this game without anything, without even so much as a good luck.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to remedy that, it appears. And because they've got fourth job, it seems like they're not trying to make it so hard to get up higher levels.
That might be it. Plus, you can accept training from the person you get the job advance from.
Yeah, I noticed
There's
that.
like 4 sets of training or something that you can go through.
It's like your starter quest or something.
Yeah, and it points you to some actually decent training grounds.
It's true.
So it's somewhat helpful. Could be better, but it's a start. Something that tells you not to or how to allocate your SP would be better. Would be much better.
Yeah, that's true. In future episodes, we're going to go into more detail on some of this stuff. We're going over these patches and this stuff in them really fast. But
By really fast, you mean 45 minutes for like half of it, then yes. Really fast.
Considering how much material is here, yes, it is fast.
Okay, so there's something about a Zachem armor, or at least there's some obscure reference to it, and no one really knows what it is.
I don't think we have this in Global. I think this is a mistake they put this in. I believe this is for MapleStory Japan, where they can actually get Zachem Helms 1 and 2, which are actually lower level versions of the one we get. We get Zachem Helm 3 in Global. So I think this is something for the players in Japan to augment their lower level Zachem Helms and get them stronger.
Oh, that would make sense, because no one has heard of the Zachem armor. The fake bosses that they have this time around are actually a lot of fun. They have the Manon and the Griffey from, I believe, the Fort Job quest thingy. There's Geist Balrogs and a couple other guys out there.
There's a couple of the old ones, yeah. I ran into an Alishar the other night.
Oh, very nice. Slime King is actually still in the slime tree.
Yep, I've heard people. I've
good.
not seen him, but I've heard people talking about him.
When I first jumped back into Maple, that first day I was at Hime's on my priest, and Menon showed up at Hime's.
Nice.
And I completely didn't know what it was, and I freaked out. Ran away.
Run away!
And then I asked you, and you were like, yeah, that's fake.
Hit it twice, it'll die.
Pretty much. There's a bunch of Gachapon stuff, I believe. Faces and eyes or something.
I don't know if it was this patch, a couple patches ago, they changed all the gachas around.
Did they move them to different places, or just the stuff you can get from them?
No, they restocked them with different things. Well, you can get some of the same stuff from them, but it's been changed around. And if you'll notice, if you ever go, if you slow down when you go to Mushroom Temple, you'll see that the gacha there that used to be dark is now brightly colored like all the rest of them.
I never realized that. I never realized it was dark in the first place.
Yeah, to represent the dark scrolls you get from there, I think. Something like that.
In addition to the gachapons, we have WXP
Yes, we do.
on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday has double drop from 4 to 6 p.m. And there's WXP and double drop on Saturday and Sunday. And that's going to be ending in like a week. But, now you know about it if you didn't before.
That will give us time to enjoy it and recover from our weakness when we're done.
Well, I mean, with the GM blessing as well.
Oh
it's
man,
crazy.
you can go to town with a low level character. It's funny.
It's great. The sad thing is archers are so hard to level, like, at lower levels, and then they become good, supposedly, from what I understand.
You must have faith. You must have faith.
Yeah, but with the GM blessing and WEXP, I'm still leveling slower than, like, anything else without WEXP.
That might be part of why there's not as many of them.
Hopefully we can change that, because apparently Hurricane, the 4th job move, is actually really sweet.
Yes, it is.
Which is what I'm looking forward to. It's keeping me going at level 25.
Oh, good lord, that's a long ways away.
In addition, there is even more cash shop crap.
Crap.
0.55.
Oh, wait a minute, you forgot something.
Did I?
Yeah, they have the long fabled face and eye accessories are now dropping from, well, not dropping, but they can be gotten from gacha. I've seen some, I have not seen actually any of them like in shops or anything like that. I've seen someone wearing an owl mask, and I have gotten my hands on a few of the scrolls.
Do the scrolls just drop normally? Or are they like quests and stuff?
Well, these were two gacha scrolls that I got. And I don't know if they drop from any monsters. I think actually they do.
What's really good though is that the face and eye accessories, which we completely didn't have before, they're permanent because you buy the gachapon and then you keep it. You keep the item that they gives you forever.
Correct.
And just equips that you can keep. Permanent equips that you can scroll it's just another thing to up your stats, which is actually really nice.
And I'm not sure if this is for anyone other than Bowman, because I believe the scrolls are only going to scroll the accessories for accuracy. At least I haven't seen any IR face accessory scrolls for anything other than accuracy.
It makes sense that the eye scrolls scroll accuracy because you can like see better or something.
Sure. Okay, now patch 5.5.
Alright, well 5.5 shows us level 200 quests.
Couple of them,
and
anyway.
You guys are more interested in this because this is the one that happened like last week and not like January. So yeah, there was a couple of level 200 quests. The level 200 mount, the dragon that they can ride around, became available.
Correct.
Which is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know anything about its stats actually. I haven't heard anything about that. Have you, Wers?
It's supposed to be able to do some other stuff for you, but I don't know what it is. I've seen one. I had a glance at it.
Can it attack stuff?
I don't know. I didn't see it do that. I think this was in town from where I saw it.
In addition, we got multi-pet availability.
Yes, I know several people have it already. Yes, and that's what I asked them. Why? They said it's cool, which I guess is explanation enough.
You can have multiple pets picking up all your stuff now.
Well, I guess they would be more efficient in picking stuff up. If you're training somewhere where there's a lot of stuff dropping, it would actually be probably more efficient.
It's still a lot of money to put into something for 3 months.
That's correct.
Maintaining 3 pets at once. And then this time through, there was not so much cash shop crap.
But it was still cash shop crap.
It was still crap, yeah. In addition, currently we still have some web events going on, as always. One of them, as always, is the GM blog contest. You post on the GM blog, and you can randomly be chosen to win money.
10,000
Maple points.
10,000 Maple points. I think the price is always the same too.
Yeah, they never bother changing that. In addition, there's some anniversary video contest going on. If you make a video celebrating Maple's 3-year anniversary and put it up on YouTube or MySpace, you can win. First place wins like a Dell XPS computer. Second place wins a web camera. Third place wins a video card or something like that. And then each prize winner also wins an anniversary T-shirt, which I haven't seen one of, so I can't really tell you if it looks good or worth trying to win.
Those are
I
decent
haven't
prices.
seen any of them. I mean, a new computer, it's always a good price.
You bet. That's what I have. I'm on a Dell XPS.
Ooh. The Dell XPS is the laptop?
They do make XPS laptops, but mine is a
Okay.
desktop.
Because the laptop is a beast.
Yes.
Weighing in at 12.5 pounds. It's huge. But anyway, so then each prize anniversary T-shirt as well. And then haven't they always had the Nexon card surprise as well?
I believe they have, at least
Ever
for the
since they
past
came
year.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy NX cards at the store. Don't use PayPal. And if you do, then you become eligible to win a T-shirt, an anniversary T-shirt, at random.
They sure are pushing the cards hard and trying to steer people away from PayPal.
My question is why?
I believe because PayPal is more vulnerable to fraud and hacking.
Do you think PayPal charges them for use of their services?
Quite possibly.
That might be it. And then the NX cash cards, because I don't think the cash cards cost any extra. It's a lot more convenient just to PayPal, if you can.
Right. To the end user, there are advantages in both ways. If you get the cards, you're locked into certain preset amounts, but then you can pay cash for them.
Mm-hmm. And you get enrolled and eligible for winning stuff like T-shirts.
Yes.
And then there's this thing called a merchant race, which I believe is new, or new to me. The top 5 merchants will win an iPod Nano and a travel speaker system, I believe.
Correct.
And I think this is like if you buy a store from the cash shop and use it.
Merchant? No, I believe that's how much trade you can do on the Maple trading system.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is. They're trying to push that now too.
Yeah, it was very unclear on the site.
Right. I believe that's what it is. I think they're going to make a ton of money off this Maple trading shop.
Because you can get really well scrolled items for like relatively cheap, just because people are going to get NX for it.
Exactly. Now, I haven't done any of it myself, so I don't know if I can vouch for it one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I can see some problems with it. At least when it first came out, I was in there quite a bit, and you saw people asking ridiculous amounts of NX for things. So it just kind of turned me off, and I haven't been in there in a while. But other people, they're making some NX. It's nice in that like younger players and people who don't have access to cards, don't have access to NX, and actually a way for them to get NX. So in that way, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty convenient. I'm actually glad that they actually came out with something like this and weren't just sticklers and decided to keep you from it if you can pay them.
Right.
But I guess like John said back when we had him talking about the trade systems, Nexon's revenue is going to go through the roof because of this.
You bet. Well, I'd say if they spend a little bit of that on hiring some more GMs,
or spend it on hiring the level cap. That would be nice too.
Oh yeah.
We'll take what we can get, but they won't give us anything, so I guess we won't be taking anything.
Well, if we don't expect anything, we won't be disappointed, will we?
It's pessimistic optimism. Is that what it is?
I'll buy that.
All right. So that kind of wraps up our news. Our hour-long news.
1 hour of news.
7 patches full of news. And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff we forgot.
Oh, I know there's tons of stuff we left out.
Oh, the hack glitch that we were going to talk about.
Oh, yes. I never actually knew exactly what it was, but there was a glitch, and it involved jumping while you're on hack and dropping money, and it would, like, increase the money or something like that. And a lot of people were getting banned for it. I'm sure I've got half the details wrong, but as soon as I heard that it was happening, I stopped using it anyway. I never take the hack anyway. I take alternate routes. I'll go there.
Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting. We had an email from someone about that, and thought it was worth a mention. All right. Are we up for our next section, Warez?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Newbie tips. Because we were all noob once. Hello, welcome to Newbie Tip number 7. Account security. This was inspired by a post I read on Sleepywood forums. It was posted by someone named Quantax.
Not Quantum.
Not Quantum, which I wanted to keep typing for some reason. And also an email from one of our listeners, Matthew Starker, who gives a lot more detail and a certain aspect on this than I'm going to give. And so there's going to be links on the blog site to both of these. Okay, this is about account security and how to protect your precious account. Actually, it's pretty easy to sum up. Don't share your account, fool!
That's a pretty good advice right there.
I know of very few, if any, examples of a purely hacked account. It always seems to be an inside job, meaning if you've been, quote, hacked, unquote, if you want to call it that, is by someone who is at least a one-time friend who you shared your account with. You would have sworn that that person was completely trustable, but then you had that fight. Yeah, famous last word. Other situations are pretty similar. I know this girl, she was hacked by her little brother. He was pretending to bother her like little brothers are always doing, but what he was really doing was watching the keystrokes as she logged in. Next time she logged in, all of her best equipments, all of her mesos, all of her maple weps and drops she got were gone.
Wow, that's actually beyond brother-sister harassment.
I would kill the little twerp. I would not recommend that you do that, however.
The death sentence might be a little harsh, Warez.
Death Dwacker. Okay, Nexon gives us 3 layers of protection. Username, password, and PIN. You can change the last 2 if you need to, but the first is permanent. The thing is, they all work together to give you protection. If a real hacker has one, they can likely break the others. Let's look at their functions real quick. The username is your identifier, and it's unchangeable. If you give it out, your account will never again be 100% safe. The password is the second layer, and if you share your account, you can change it to regain some of your security. The PIN is partial protection, but only against keyloggers. And you should have keyloggers anyway if you have running good malware protection. If you've got good virus checker and you keep it updated, you shouldn't have keyloggers anyway. The thing is, the PIN's only 4 digits, and it's easy for any PIN cracking software to penetrate.
Well, what they did for the keyloggers was they had the soft keyboard come up, so you have to actually click on the buttons, which are in random order.
Right.
So the keylogging doesn't help all that much there.
Right.
So it's just even more protection.
That's exactly the point. That's why it is protection against keyloggers. But a PIN cracker will just will randomly guess those 4 digits, and it's not that hard for a computer to find a 4-digit number.
Right. I misheard you. My apologies.
Okay. So, that leaves you with your password. Some people say to change it every 30 days if you're going to be sharing, or even if you're not going to be sharing, to change it every once in a while. I believe that if someone knows your username, it doesn't matter how often you change it if it isn't a strong one. But what's a weak password? Well, any common English word by itself is pretty weak. A brute force pass breaker with even a mediocre dictionary loaded can break it within 30 minutes, probably more like 30 seconds.
With the speed of these computers these days.
Right. Well, then all they have to do is use a PIN cracker, and your account is toast. So what's your best defense? Like I said, never share accounts.
Mm-hmm.
My main account is known to no one but me. I wouldn't trust my mother with my info, and she's a saint for crying out loud. If you do share, and I know some of you are going to do it anyway, then you're going about naked. What you need then, or what you need anyway, is a strong password. I was inspired by this by a Sleepywood thread by Quantac. He was talking about using the gnarliest password you can possibly come up with. Something drawing from a wider key set and using a lot of randomness. For example, ampersand, lowercase r, period, 9, question mark, capital A, 7, lowercase z, capital X, $3+. Believe it or not, MapleStory allows you to use these kinds of passwords. They are much, much stronger. They can still be broken, but instead of minutes, it can take up to a day to break. Many hackers are not going to be that patient. They're just going to give up and go hunting easier targets.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it a pain to remember something like that? Well, that's Quantac's point. After you type it enough times, your muscles are going to do a lot of the remembering for you. So you just make up a new one and retype it a bunch of times, and sooner than you think, it'll be just as easy as typing the name of your pet or your favorite color or whatever it is you're using now for your password. There are even websites out there that will generate these passwords for you or evaluate the strength of the one you are using. Quantac posting gives some links, and we will link to his posting on the blog site. So friends, take some time and protect your hard-earned macers. Okay? Thank you.
What the muscle memory thing for typing passwords? I'm sure most of you already know all about it because you start with a relatively basic password, whatever it is that you use for more than one thing probably, and sometimes you end up typing your password and you think you mistyped it, and that's when you hit login. Turns out you didn't. Just a lot of things like that. Your body takes care of you more than you realize.
Yeah, and your best friend's phone number. You can dial that without looking at the keypad most of the time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, protect yourself.
Don't go around naked.
Yes. And would you like to introduce the next feature, Warez?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
We've got a new feature coming up, and this is a pre-recorded segment, and I think I've described a lot of it. It was suggested by a friend, a Maple friend on my buddy list named 007 Johnny Wupp. I think we talked about Johnny before on the podcast. Good old Johnny.
Don't laugh while saying his name.
He suggested this a long time ago, and I've been thinking about it, waiting for the right time to use it. Mm-hmm. And so we did use it, and I believe this will be probably, if it proves to be somewhat popular, will be a recurring feature. But the interesting thing is, neither Shravan nor I are going to be reading it.
Nope.
So, let it rip. Listener contributions. Now it's our turn to listen. Your turn to talk. Hello, and welcome to the initial installment of Cash Shop Best Buys, a feature suggested by a Maple friend, 007 Johnny Wupp. He suggested it quite some time ago. This is likely to be a regular feature episodes, but we are going to try to do this one a little bit different and have a regular guest reader do these, even if they happen to be written by someone else, me, Shravan, or some other listener. Remember always that Aqua Road Radio neither endorses nor is opposed to the Cash Shop or micro-transition nature of MapleStory. So now, without further ado, I bring to you, although you've heard her before, my Maple daughter, Mirama. So you finally got some NX. What are you going to spend it on? Welcome to the Cash Shop.
Thank you, Daddy, and hello, listeners. This feature will start off with an installment written by my Daddy Warez, and like him is kinda smexy. Just kidding, Daddy. But it is about a very bland and unexciting part of the CS, and that is adding slots. This is likely the least talked about thing you can buy with NX, but is perhaps the most valuable. At least it is one of the few CS things recommended by Warez. Why would you spend all that NX on extra slots? At 4K for a row or 4 extra slots, it is quite pricey. But think of it this way. If you play that character for a significant time period, you'll get your money's worth since they never expire unlike most other CS items. And if you buy them for the storage which is shared by all 3 characters on a single account, you get the benefits for all characters on that account forever, even when you delete a character and make new ones. But don't our characters come with enough slots to get by, you might ask? Well, at first, yes. But by the time you get into second job, they seem to be inadequate. This is of course quite likely intentional on Nexon's part, encouraging you to buy them. The reason they might give for this that slots represent memory space in the game servers. But is it $1 worth per slot? No, it's mostly a profit for them, so I buy them. It's all about capacity. When you fill up on drops or run out of pods, you are forced, more or less, to head to town. It is nice to take a break, relax, and socialize. But it isn't fun when you had intended to stay grinding. Say you wanted to make a goal or your guildies were hoping you could make third job by the weekend. Then it's not so relaxing to go to town. Extra slots on your use and equip tabs can solve this. Extra equip slots also mean that you can keep more gears for different situations handy when you're adventuring in the field. It can mean the difference between life and death in some situations, which I think that part is kinda exaggerating. Moving on. Extra slots for ETC, or etc., are a bit more of an open question. People differ on the issue of picking them up or not. If you can spare the slots, especially if you have a pet with looters, these otherwise useless items can add up in value. Also, as time goes on more and more, ETC items do have some value, especially the event items that may be worth holding onto for a year, like the wish tickets or the snows for the snowman. But on the setup and cache tabs, now this is really nuts. Why would anyone need extra space on setup? How many chairs and Christmas ornaments do you need? And if you need extra slots for cache items, then you have truly descended into the hell of NX whoredom. Finally, getting extra slots for the storage is perhaps the single most useful thing you can do with NX, especially if you're going to do any selling or merch hunting at all. The ease of transferring stuff between your main and mule on the same account makes it worth by itself. So while slots may not be smexy, they're useful, and Warez credits them getting them early as one of the main reasons he has plenty of mesos. Oh really? Speaking of which, Daddy, could you give me a loan?
Yes, really, daughter. And no, you can't have any mesos. You've been sassy.
Oh, told by the father. I do really like the cash shop Best Buys thing, though. It actually would provide a lot of usefulness to a lot of people.
Johnny Whoop had a great idea.
Well, now that the Trade Center is out, especially, people are getting NX to buy regular stuff off the market and Maple itself, and they now can figure out what's in the cash shop worth buying as well.
Sure.
All right, Warez. So now we get to jump in to your dissertation.
Yeah.
So I brought my DS, and I have my lawyer game plugged in, and I figured I'd play it.
Enjoy.
I'll be paying attention, throwing a little okay, and a little side commentary every once in a while.
Sure, why not?
All right, let's start up with the stinger.
You've reached the party center. We'll help you get ready for that next PQ. Welcome to Party Center 2. This is about the guild party quest. It's been suggested many times, but most recently by several of the new guildies in our guild who are utterly baffled when we take them there.
It's very confusing for people who haven't been there before.
Right, and especially if you don't have a guide or something, it's like, what do I do?
And the guides are so long that, flipping back and forth between the guide and the party quest and Maple is just too time consuming. So hopefully
I found the best strategy is to get a guide and then read it and print out a few key places like maps and things.
Well, this way our listeners can actually play through your reading of this so that they can have it running while they go through it.
How about that?
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
All right. So this is the GPQ, or the Guild Party Quest. The GPQ is different in that you aren't partying with strangers. Although you can invite strangers into your guild and probably kick them out again later after the GPQ is done. The GPQ is also different in that you are treated to large parts of the backstory that you don't always get when doing these BQs.
What backstory?
You don't know the backstory?
I don't know the backstory. Is
Well,
that something that's through
yeah,
all the quests?
that could be another mini dissertation.
All right then, we'll save that for another time.
A good way to start is to chat up with your guildies on Guild Chat and seeing if there are enough people online who can commit the time it'll take. Or perhaps your guild has a preset time for GPQ. Just join in. In our guild, we do the first. An organizing JM or the master will announce an assembly time and channel. The minimum number you need is 6, but it's always a good idea to have 7 or more so that the PQ won't be aborted if someone DCs. You will need, at a minimum, 1 party of 6, consisting of at least 1 level 30 or below, 1 mage with nearly maxed teleport, and a thief with dark sight. There used to be a nade for a ranger sniper, but now a 4th job mage with whole screen attacks can substitute, although it's still nice to have the ranger sniper along. You also want a lot of guildies who rule at jump quests, because there are a lot of them in the GPQ.
Almost borderline too many.
Oh, way over the borderline, but it's still fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Alright, there are several stages where you'll be distracted if you are only so at them. You will be frustrated. So, also if your party intends to take on the boss, if it's a boss run, you'll want a good number of people above level 100, tackers with 4k HP or better. So, the location. It's out near the end of the excavation grounds, which were added last year. The entrance, if you don't know by now, is between Parian and Alinea on Rocky Road 3 map, up at the top right. If you have gone the train on Ghost Stumps, or the Masks, or Skeledogs, or Skelesoldiers, you already know where the place is. So once your group is assembled, party up, although actually it's not even necessary. At least, as long as you have at least 1 party. So, the guild leader, or the JM, activates the quest by registering with the NPC there. It is recommended that the person who registers also be the one who will be participating in Stage 2, and I'll tell you why in a minute. You'll see a shield icon in the upper right of your screen where the pot and buff icons are located. If you see that and you aren't at the site yet, you'd better run if you want to be included.
You have, what, 3 minutes or something?
I believe you have about that, yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly 3 minutes. So, click on the NPC yourself. I mean, this isn't one of those PQs where when the leader goes in, everybody goes in. You have to do it yourself. You'll have a wait of 3 minutes, which you can use to organize, but most people are already organized, so you probably just socialize, jump around, and do silly stuff. And then you'll see a notice that the instance is now open. This is a weird way they phrase it, and everybody makes fun of it. The instance is now open. So you go into the first stage. It's very easy. You just hit the colored rocks with a regular attack until the protector earrings are dropped. Before you exit the stage, equip them. And don't take them off, whatever you do, unless you have a death wish. Except for one person who will take them off on purpose later on.
Of course. I would like to point out really quick that this first stage is really 2 maps long, and so you have the map that you're put in and the next map to get these protector earrings.
Correct.
Depending on how many people are in your guild.
Yes, I'm actually gonna be skipping over some maps if they don't actually have a stage on them.
All right, fair enough.
Now, it's only 1% penalty to die in this PQ, but that's still 1% you don't want to lose if you don't have to. Okay, so here we are. Stage 2, what I'm calling Stage 2. This is the gate stage. The party quest leader must talk to the gatekeeper statue to start and register each of the 3 levels of the stage. This is harder if the leader isn't also participating in the stage, which is why I recommended the leader be someone who will participate. So why doesn't everybody do this? Well, success here absolutely depends on good communication. And the more people there are doing the statues, the much greater the chances of failure. Our guild actually just uses 2 people to do it. It's more work for those 2, but they are much less likely to screw up. Okay, so on both sides of the gate are 3 levels of statues. There are hooded sword angels on the bottom, horned beast heads in the middle, and mini gargoyle statues on top. You can safely ignore the differences as they are interchangeable as far as the puzzles go. So once the leader activates the gatekeeper, the statues will sound out and flash out at random. Once they are done, you must repeat the pattern exactly. Sounds pretty easy, yes? Well, no, it isn't, because the statues are spread out much farther than any one person could keep track of. So this stage cannot possibly be soloed. You must trust the other person or persons to get their side right and to call out their statue before the next one does, or the order will be completely screwed up. There are different methods for doing this. Some guilds assign someone, they actually have enough people doing it that they can assign someone by each statue. There's like 20-some statues to keep track of whether it lights up or not. Some groups use codes based on row and column. Some use mesos to mark them. Some guilds use just 2 people who remember the pattern of statues on their side and their order. Others write it down, but you have to be really fast if you do that. Personally, I use numbered markers on a piece of paper. We have found that the fewer who are opening the gates, the less their chance of failure, like I just said. All of these methods, however, are fallible and practice is required. And our guild will occasionally take new guildies there just to practice this stage. Okay, so you start out. There's just 4 statues that'll sound out. It's pretty easy. If you succeed, the next level there's 5. Adding one more makes it more difficult than you would expect. If you succeed, then there are finally 6 on the last level. Failure means you go all the way back to the beginning and start over. This means that you must have concentration, and that is almost impossible if the rest of your guildies, who are likely bored out of their minds by now, are bouncing around on your mini-map and spouting out random nonsense. Seriously, you will find out your guildie's general level of maturity and capability to follow instructions in this stage in a hurry. I have personally had the displeasure of aborting a GPQ because somebody simply could not shut up. They didn't remain in the guild for long after that. So finally you've got the gate open. So you rush into the castle proper to start stage 3. This is the Hall of the Night, and there are many things that need to be done here, so the group will have to split up. This is where the new GPQers are most likely to feel lost, because everyone's split up, and they're in the main hall. Everyone's disappeared, and they're like, what do I do?
I was like that when I first went in. There's like 8 doors in that place.
It seems like it, but actually there's only 4 you really need to know.
Oh, okay.
So it will pay for them to listen carefully to this part and to get a map or a guide, or at least a map, right? Basically, what you need are 4 spears of Longinus. They must be collected from where they're hidden and placed on thrones on a different part of this stage at the tops of 4 different towers, and that will unlock the next stage. 3 of those spears can be reached at the top of different towers or silos in the Room of Faith. This is the room on the bottom floor, the main floor, where everybody who is not concerned with the 4th spear should go to. If you have a large group, basically everybody goes there and starts these JQs.
Oh, jump quests.
Jump quests. Each tower has different color lasers that fire in different patterns with different plats to jump between. They fire it, like I said, at different intervals and then knock you down. They're frustrating as all get out unless you're a master JQer. So the color of the lasers, that's how most people will tell the towers apart. I believe there's yellow, red, blue. Others will number them or letter them. I know what you're thinking. Jump quests. Ugh. Hey, so go here even if you're not good at it. This is your chance for some practice and to develop some patience. Also,
Patience.
if you just wait out in the hall, you're going to feel lonely or lost or that you're not contributing. Trust me, anyone that is not even trying at the JQs anyone who is even trying is participating and benefiting their guild. Perhaps not now, but the practice will pay off in the future. Okay, so that's the first 3 spears. The 4th spear is a little more complicated. So it's behind some undefeatable monsters, but there's a specific convoluted way of getting at it. First, take some of your guild's heavy hitters, and perhaps a healer, into the Room of Courage, which is the room on the 2nd level. Now here you're going to fight muscle stones and master muscle stones. When you killed enough of them, which is basically most of them, they'll drop a set of gold keys. So you take these keys to the locked door of the Room of Pledge. This is the left room on the top level. Drop the keys, wait for the door to open. The Room of Pledge has 2 levels. At least one mage with any level of teleport is needed on the bottom. So they teleport past this barrier and walk up until they find a pile of rubble. They hit the pile with regular attack for what seems like forever until a box is uncovered, and then they hit the box until it breaks. A set of rusty keys will pop out. So they grab these and take them back to where they went past that barrier, and they give them to a thief. They'll go up a set of stairs to an upper platform. This platform has special muscle stones. Unlike the earlier ones, these are basically undefeatable, being level 200, and perhaps still the highest level monster in the game, I'm not sure. The thief, however, can use Darksight and go past them. Once it gets to the other side of the platform, the thief will drop the keys, opening another door. In the following room, the thief can grab the last spear. Warning, you can only carry 1 spear at a time, so if the thief has one, they should have dropped it before they went to grab the last one. Otherwise, you're going to screw things up. Oh, right here, I should pause and tell people how to grab these spears. It's a bizarre thing. They're actually taller than our avatars, so you can't just stand on them and grab them. You can't stand on them and press Z. You actually have to jump and press Z. It takes a little bit of practice. You can jump in an arc and press Z at the right time, or you can jump straight up. It takes a little more careful timing, but you can do it. Okay, so the room that has all these spears must be taken to is at the top right. It is called the Room of Glory, and each spear requires still another JQ to be placed at the top of one of those towers or silos. There's a throne-like thing up there, and you'll need to drop it pretty close to the middle of the throne for it to activate. So there are 2 towers to either side of the entrance to the Room of Glory. I will describe them from left to right, or as most people will, label them A, B, C, and D. Tower A, or 1, depending on your labeling method, requires precise jumps from plat to rope to rope. I've heard that this takes haste, but I actually do it better without haste. Tower 2, however, is the true haste tower, easiest for a thief with maxed haste, but I have a certain combination of jump equips. I can do it. It's pretty clumsy, and people like to come and watch me and just laugh, but it's doable. Okay, so Tower 3 has many levels of plat. You have to press the up key on one and only 1 plat per level, which will teleport you up 1 level. I'm going to give you the pattern from left to right. Warning, if you don't like spoilers, close your ears for a few seconds. The pattern is here. 2nd, 1st, 5th, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, 2nd.
It's not a random combination every time?
No, it's the same combo every time.
I always thought it was a random combination. I was wondering why or how people were getting up that so quickly. This would explain it. Okay.
If you press
Hey, I learned something.
If you press up on any other plat, other than those ones I've listed, you're going all the way back down to the beginning. So the last one, Tower 4 or Tower D, is a teleport map, completable only by someone who is within a few points of maxed teleport. Now the towers, they don't have to be done in this order. They can be done in any order at all, and any spear will work on any tower. So if you are anywhere within range of these maps and you have the screen shake effects on, when the last spear is placed, you will experience a small earthquake. That is your clue that the next stage has been opened. So now you are entering the hall of the castle proper, and your next challenge is the 4th stage, and it is to answer the knights at the Fountain of the Wise Man. There are 4 knights, and each of them could have 4 items placed in front of him. If you get it right, it opens the door to the next stage. So the first 2 types of items are medals and scrolls, and they will drop from the dark ghost knights that will attack when the leader chats the NPC. These are going to be big trouble for the lower level party members, so they need to get going up to get the other 2 types of items, because well, they need to be gotten, and they'll be away from danger. So there are 2 upper-level rooms on the left and right of the fountain. To the left is the wine room. 1 person can handle this room. You jump up or climb to the various plats in the room. Warning, you cannot use haste or teleport in here. You'll feel like you're walking through molasses or something. You go so slow. You break the boxes and crates that you see, and you get at least 4 ancient wines. To the left of the fountain is a mess hall, where apparently giants ate. The tables and chairs are so incredibly big compared to our characters. You'll need to get what are called ancient ingredient here, but really it's just plates of rotten food.
Wait, that's on the right side, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
This one's actually a fairly hard JQ, jumping from the top of the table to various shelves with knives and forks trying to skewer you at fast preset intervals. Once again, this room doesn't allow teleport or haste.
Unfortunate.
Yes. So everybody who isn't concerned in some other area needs to come here and work on this one. Remember, everything that drops, grab it right away, as these things actually will disappear if they lay down it long enough. And it's possible that that thing that just disappeared will force you to start the GPQ over. So grab them as they drop. Meanwhile, back in the fountain room, the higher levels will have started the puzzle already, with just the first 2 types of items, the medals and the scrolls. Now, sometimes you get lucky, and the solution will just involve the first 2 types. If not that lucky, it might be likely that they will have determined that not all of the foods or wines are needed. Those JQs can be stopped if enough have been gathered already. So, every time you try, the NPC will tell the leader how many are right and how many are in the right spot, which aren't necessarily the same thing, but they will tell you no more.
It's like Mastermind.
Exactly. It's exactly what it's like.
Ah, such a fun game.
I used to play that a lot. So, there's various methods that people use to solve this thing. They are fairly graspable once you've used them a few times, but they're not very easy to explain. And this party center is already pretty darn long, so instead I'm going to ask you to look at a guide or 2. 2 of them are on the Hidden Street website. You can look those up. And there's also, here you go, you can look up the board game Mastermind on Wikipedia. This puzzle is very similar to the board game, except that MapleStory only gives you 7 shots at it, while most versions of Mastermind allow you 10 tries. So, every time there's an unsuccessful guess, 2 Death Knights will rush the party from each side. Well, total 2, 1 from each side. So everyone who isn't strong enough needs to hang from the ropes if they want to watch. If you don't make it in 7 tries, then a good-sized mob of them are going to attack, and the puzzle resets. So it pays to master the reasoning involved here. Our guild leader, Hertz, he's a fairly logical type, and he uses a smart algorithm that allows us to solve in 6 or less most of the time. It's a variant on the 5-guess method that is shown on the wiki I just mentioned. Well, the problem is I can never remember it when leading. I should really write that thing down. Okay, so you finally got the right answer. A secret doorway will open up, and you get to go down to the sewers underneath the castle. This is the 5th stage, and the party will need to split up again. This is going to lead you eventually to the grave of Sharon, who is the master of the castle, and that's part of the backstory that I'm not giving you, but you can check it out and get a chance. The leader needs to talk to his will. His will be sitting right there to start this stage. But to open the way to the next stage, you must gather 4 items. You need to gather His Highness's pants, coat, crown, and shoes. So along the sewer there are 4 groups of openings. Only one opening in each of the groups will lead to a mini-quest to get one of the items. The rest of the openings in each group will teleport you to some other opening or back to the beginning. It's very confusing without a map tracing all of these teleports. And while they're not random, There's no rhyme or reason to them, so you can get lost really fast. I suggest you get one of the maps that are in one of the guides. It will show you which mini quests are led to from which opening. The mini quest for the first group has you killing puppet golems. These are like stone golems, but they're being controlled by some other little mini monster. You must attack them with your, get some of your better attackers in there. Each of them will drop something that's called a Sign of Stone Skull. No, I got that name wrong. Something like that, but there's 9 of them. You must get all of them and place them on a pile in the far doorway on that other end of that map. This will open up another room which has a jump quest that will lead to the pants as its reward. Past that, at the end of that map, is the door that opens to the next stage, and it's already open. It doesn't matter because you need all 4 items before you can get any further than that. Okay, moving on to the second grouping of openings. This is the longish one that will yield the shoes to the successful jumper. It is also just leads directly to a jump quest. I kind of stink at all of these jump quests, but
Jump quests are the death of us worst.
luckily some of our guildies are very good at them.
Or just have more patience than we do.
Something like that. Okay, moving on to the third grouping. Now, here's an interesting thing. It can only be entered if you are below level 30. If you forgot to get somebody below level 30, you might as well abort the GPQ right here. So I haven't been in it, so I can't really describe it very well, but it's supposed to be similar to the previous minis in that they have to get one of the drops by doing a jump quest. But first, in order to unlock the jump quest, they have to kill a bunch of devil slimes, which are basically purple slimes, and they are elsewhere. I forget which maps they're on, but they're on somewhere else.
The devil slimes are beautiful experience, by the way. The level, whoever you have who's level 30 or below will get more than enough experience to compensate for what will be to come.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, you have done that, haven't you?
I have done it once. I believe the devil slimes are the red-colored slimes that you see in the sauna secret map now.
Oh, okay. I thought the devil slimes were purple.
I can't be too sure about it.
Weren't the devil?
They might be purple. It's been a long time.
Okay.
But it's like a relatively flattish looking map, and you just beat at slimes, and you just climb up and grab the what's the item in there?
Coat. The coat's in there.
Coat, right.
Okay, so the final grouping, and its mini quest, has a master gargoyle inside of it at the upper right. He will summon other gargoyles and drop weights on you. You can tell when they're going to come because there'll be a little flashing thing where they're going to end up. He must be killed before you can get any further, but he appears to be out of range. Previously, what you needed was a hermit with keen eyes or a sniper ranger, and they had to enter a portal at the lower right, which transports them to a tiny plat on the upper left, which is barely within range of the master. Since fourth job is out, however, a mage with full screen attack can now reach him. It makes pretty quick work of it, but it's a little bit less fun. Still.
It sounds very taxing on your MP as well.
Yeah, but you get used to it. So, once he's dead, then Junior Gargoyles attack. They've killed them all, gather their drops, which opens still another jump quest. The reward for that one is the crown. Now you've got all 4 items.
About time.
Yeah. Okay.
Too many jump quests.
There's always too many. So you take all 4 of these items to the next map, which is Sharon III's grave. And you drop them on the skeleton. Some say the order that you drop them in matters. Others say no. But if you don't want to take any risk, the order is supposed to be from top to bottom. Shoes, pants, coat, and crown.
Or bottom to top.
You're right, bottom to top. I'm thinking backward.
It's cool. We gave him the right idea.
Okay, so you've opened the 6th stage. This is the boss fight. Finally, time to face Urgot. But to enter the royal chamber, you must sacrifice somebody at the entranceway. Basically, what you need the person who needs to sacrifice is the lowest level or someone who doesn't want to fight. You need to stand pretty much right in the middle of that top step and remove your earring. Boom, instant death. But the door opens. To start the fight, someone with a large amount of HP, basically your best warrior, goes up to the thrones and breaks a crystal there, and it summons his ugliness into existence.
When dropping the earrings, it's not suitable, or it's not enough just to remove the earrings from your equip back into your inventory. You have to actually click on them in your equipment window and drag them out and drop them from the equipment window directly.
That's right. Thank you.
Because otherwise you'll just kill yourself and the door still won't open.
Thank you for that. I knew there was something I needed to say there, but I couldn't remember what it was. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so those who want to be safe, for those who do want to be safe, there's a crack in the pillar right before the entranceway. It's a secret passage up to a balcony above the royal chamber where the fight takes place. Now, at the end, at the far end of that balcony, there's a wall of spikes, and they will inflict a goodly hit on you. So you want to avoid that. Now, in the middle is a turnstile. The turnstile controls a giant chandelier above Urgoth and his minions. It used to be that you could hit this turnstile, and eventually the chain would let go, and it would drop, doing some damage to the boss. Not a whole lot, but it was something for people to do. But it seems they have nerfed this thing several patches ago, or at least it was changed in some way. We can't figure it out. So I don't know if it works anymore.
That's really weird why they do that, because at least the lower levels could help out this way.
Right. I mean, it wasn't a lot of damage, but you were doing something.
I mean, it was something, yeah.
Okay, so for the attackers who are going to enter and fight, Urgoth has several companions who will make your job much harder. There are 2 lion statues and 2 knight statues, all of which are immune to all magic. Urgoth himself is a master of magic attacks and can summon mini reapers with vicious attacks. He can also summon the dark knights that you faced earlier. He can also heal himself by a huge chunk. So once you start in on him, don't let up. The reapers are somewhat avoidable. Where they're going to appear, there's a flashing thingy before they arrive, so you can kind of get out of the way. Now, since this GPQ has been implemented, there have been several strategies that have proved to be popular. Well, first there was the pure frontal assault. Get many attackers, very high level. Support them with clerics and priests. The healer should stay within range or even behind Urgoth, as he is undead and he will take damage from the healings. Well, then it seemed like we evolved late last year into ME or Meso Explosion. It was all arranged for all sorts of things. Like they were also using it. It was very popular to use this at Zachem too at the same time. Basically, you went with the strongest chief bandit to do the damage. They simply piled up as many Mesos as the group could afford in front of the throne and set in doing Meso Explosion after Urgoth arrived. The CB had to be supported by attackers and healers, but the ME did most of the work.
It was actually really nice back in the day.
Yeah. Except for the occasional unscrupulous chief bandit who would take more money than it actually took and not drop it all.
Or just leave themselves after taking the money and starting the fight.
Yeah. But we won't get into that.
Right. That's another story.
Since 4th job, once again, whole screen magic attack can do the job. It takes a long while. And like in other strategies, once you start, you can't let up, or he will just heal himself. But using this method of somewhat remote attack seems to keep him from healing as fast, or even summoning as fast. For the mages to be in range, they will have to take damage, so it is a good thing to have a healer present, healing them. Oh, so you've killed him? Grats. Now you get to go on to the bonus stage. Compared to what you've gone through up to get to this point, this particular bonus for this PQ will seem like a real letdown. Even though you can get some nice scrolls and equips, your time that you are allowed to break these boxes will seem to end almost instant after it's started. So why do the GPQ at all? Well, each stage will get you guild points that may not may help your guild get onto the Rock of Honor that you see in every town. The gate stage will get you 15. The fountain stage will get you 25. The sewer stage will get you 30, and I think the boss kill is 140. I'm not sure about that. But you may say that the rock is already filled with high numbers. Well, that may be why this quest isn't as popular as it once was when it first patched in. But this is still one of the best reasons, in my opinion. See, it serves as an important function for your guild. It's used by my guild anyway to create solidarity and team spirit. In other words, you do it for guild and glory. These things don't translate well into, mesos and levels, but they are in fact more important in my opinion. Thank you.
March on.
Well, that wasn't that painful, was it?
No, it actually wasn't that. I don't know.
Except that I can't speak smoothly tonight for some reason.
And that is why we have audio editing software. But yeah, I actually thought this was going to take a lot longer than it did, so hopefully I can actually get this out by tomorrow.
Well, that'd be sweet.
Which would be cool. Alright, so, thanks for the party quest, the party center thing, because it's definitely going to help. A lot of people are going to use it. That and I do do we still do guild party quests, by the way, Warez?
Yes.
As in, do we do them on a regular basis?
We've let off since the anniversary event started. We haven't been doing them as much.
Oh, that's understandable. I hope we pick them up, though, again, because they are a lot of fun.
Right. Well, since we've gotten to the point where we can boss kill regularly.
We can actually go to the bonus stage that lasts for mere instants.
Yes. Picoseconds.
Considering the whole party quest itself takes, an hour at least to do or something like that.
It
takes a big chunk of time.
It's a long quest, and it takes a commitment. That's probably another reason why people don't like to do it. Well, it used to be that you'd actually have to register your party and then wait.
Well, because of the demand.
Right. There's so many people there's so many guilds on every channel. But now it's an easy matter to find an open channel. Most of them are open most of the time.
And spending an hour with your guild a week isn't too bad.
Oh no, it's great. I mean, why are you guilded with these people in the first place? If you don't want to spend time with them.
Alright guys, so we're almost done, we promise. We got emails, and just wanted to say before we started that, we've gone through all the emails that we've received since January 15th.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is a lot. But we are only going to read a few on this episode due to the enormity of it all.
There's a lot of good ones, and some of those that you might think we've forgotten will actually pop up in later episodes.
It would actually be really cool just to, because we go through our emails regularly, and we do use previous emails in, later podcasts if we feel they'll fit better there, or, if we can do something like, we did with, John and Spazcakes earlier with voicemails. That would actually be really cool.
That was cool.
Alright, so let's go ahead and start with emails, and hopefully we can get out of here in a earthly hour.
Aqua Road Radio emails.
So our first email is from Dimitri, who emailed us back on January 15th. We frankly don't even know if you guys are playing Maple anymore, because it's been 5 months. But hopefully you guys are, and if you're listening to this, we thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll get a response, regardless of how late it was, from us that's suitable to your needs. Anyway, so Dimitri says, along the same lines, my in-real-life boyfriend plays Maple too. He's, we blotted out the name, level 5X Ice Lightning Mage. He says, by the way, I'm also male. We're a gay couple in real life. In a show of devotion to him, I went through the Proof of Love quest, and spent a good deal of money on the Moonstone, or whatever the thing is called, the Moonstone Ring. And to top it all off, I can't even propose to his character. What a rip. So now I have this hard-earned ring in my inventory, and we literally do everything together on Maple, and now I can't even prove my love to him and propose. It's discriminatory, I tell you.
He's right. It is.
It's very discriminatory. But, people are just single-minded.
That's right. I don't think the last thing we could ever expect out of Nexon is to take some kind of social stand on an issue like this. They're gonna do what's safe. I mean, if a company that's going to nerf cartoon guns and make Showa into kitty Showa isn't going to take any kind of stand when it comes to same-sex relationships. So
Exactly. I believe we have talked about this in a podcast episode way long time ago.
I think we did.
But it's just it's something they're not going to let up on. We're all disappointed because it's just a rights issue, and frankly, it should be allowed, at least in my opinion.
In mine too. Okay. Next email. This is from Trevor, and he sent it in on January 17th. Hey, Shravan, or Pimp Master, and Warez, or James, which you're not supposed to call me.
It's okay.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not. Don't do it.
Okay.
All right.
I play in a bro character named Lambo Guy 93, level 51 Spearman. Just wanted to tell you how much this podcast has helped me out. Some of the things you talk about are useful, some are not, and I store them in my head for later levels. Try talking about free market prices and things like that sometime if you could. Shravan, oh, he spelled it wrong.
Yeah, before too, but he didn't apologize, see? It's a key issue. Everyone who spells my name right apologizes, and everyone who spells it wrong doesn't.
At least he calls you the ownage.
Yeah, true.
And he calls me the ponage. Okay. He says we're the yin-yang of gamers. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Keep up the good work.
It's a feel-good thing.
And I anticipate your next episode. Oh, so he wants some information about free market prices.
Right.
They're unstable. How's that?
They fluctuate quite a bit.
We couldn't give them to you, and have them useful for any more than a week or so.
My best advice is just to, spend a day, or not even a day, maybe like an hour, just going through the free market. Just, set a day of the week and just do that. And then you'll know, relative prices for the good next couple of days at least. And just do that like on a weekly basis, and it'll keep your free market pricing up, which is actually really good because not only will you be an aware buyer and be able to get better deals than other people who are unaware of the fluctuations in prices, you'll also be able to, if interested, you'll be able to purchase your store or be able to make wise decisions on how much to charge other people for things that you stumble across.
Correct. Now, one thing we can be sure about, and that is a new patch will also often affect at least something. Now, here's the trick: predicting what's going to affect and how much, and trying to, if you think it's going to go up, trying to buy a bunch of stuff cheap before it goes up. All right? Now, you're gambling.
It's like the stock market.
Yes.
Actually. And frankly, it sounds like a lot of good practice for it.
It actually is. But like I said, it's gambling, so you can easily lose a lot of mesos. Mm-hmm. But you could make a lot of mesos too. Well, that's the nature of merchanting, isn't it?
Which is why Nexon has a merchanting web contest.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so good luck with the free market. And so it's okay to call me Pimp Master, and it's not okay to call you James. Okay. Alright, well, the next email we have is from Rise Down, who's in the Kaini server, and this was back from January 19th. And Rise Down says, just a tip I thought you might want to put in your podcast under tips or something. The opening of Mulung and Aqua Road has created a new way of traveling between places. For example, Orbis rock scrolls go for about 100k a pop, and so you're spending 3 just to get down and another 3 to get back up to the tower to move between Orbis and Elnath. So you're pretty much spending 600k for one trip there and back. But if you took the alternative route by going through Mulung and Herbtown, you could save yourself some mesos. Taking the Stork from Orbis to Mulung costs 6,000 mesos, and then another 1,500 mesos to go from Mulung to Herbtown. From there, you can talk to the Dolphin for 10k, and he'll take you to Aqua Road.
Woot.
Aqua Road, woot. From Aqua Road, It's just a short trip, short walk from there to the bottom of Orbis Tower and up onto Elnath. In this total, this alternative route costs 17.5k versus the 300k you would spend on scrolls for one-way trip. I hope I could help you out, and I'm sorry for all you people selling rock scrolls, because their prices might go down because of this, but it's unlikely. So we actually thought this was a really good email, because it did talk about relative pricing and to open up people's eyes that there is more than one way to get to places, and that you could actually save yourself quite a bit of money.
Right.
Seems like it.
I often take this route.
It's just a lot more convenient as well. And now that Orbis and Ludibrium are connected through the Korean folk town.
Correct.
So it takes a little longer, but it probably will take you less time than waiting for the train and taking the train.
Silly train.
Yeah, and you're actually saving a lot of money because you're not spending anything for a ticket. Just keep your eyes open for patches and different paths that ensue.
Right. Oh yeah, that like you said, that it references back to the previous email about how different patches can change various economic situations, change prices.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, next email. This is from Brian. I was training in Assyria, and the maps where the star pixies and liners and groupings are changed. All the portals that are on the right are now on the left. Weird. It's true. Now, we've talked about this before. I think previous
Back
patch.
when Mysteria and
they changed some
New
of
Leaf
that
City came out.
We were talking about why would they do stuff like this. Well, I've got a theory, and I don't know if it makes any sense, but I'll throw it out there.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think as they bring patches in that already are connected in other versions of MapleStory, when they don't have it connected to this patch, it's probably better to have it one way, but then when you bring in a different area that's connected to it, it probably makes more sense to turn it around to line it up with these new areas. It's just a theory anyway.
It does make sense, but it does also cause not confusion, I'd say, because you realize it almost instantly, but it's just weird. Like you said, weird.
Actually, I like it when they do that.
Does it spruce up the gameplay?
Yes, it does.
A little bit.
Yes, it does.
Next up, we got an email from Inkheart Thief, who says, "Hi, I'm Inkheart Thief. I'm a level 36 Sin. What should I do? Because when I was level 5, I put 6 points into int. So now I have 11 int to this day. What should I do?"
A smart Sin? I never thought I'd run across one. I'm sorry, Sins. I'm sorry.
So we'd like to point you toward a couple of things. Your first option, of course, is restarting your character, which isn't probably the best option, because if you wanted to restart your character, you probably would have done that and not asked this question in the first place. Secondly, we'd like to point you toward the AP and SP resets in the cash shop, which is an option.
Expensive.
It's a little pricey.
Expensive option, but yes, if you are in love with this character and you're going to develop it and stay with it for a year, maybe it's worth it.
I believe that buying about buying about 6 AP resets to be able to switch to the the points you have in int to the points you have in what do Sins have? Luck? Yeah. It's gonna run you somewhere around 25,000 thousand NX or something.
$25.
So but like Ware said, if you're gonna be sticking with this character, and if considering we're having this episode forever way later, you've already either made a decision probably, or your character's high enough of a level that you are probably going to keep him.
But it's worth talking about because a lot of people do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very common mistake, especially on your first, second characters. I did it. I have a useless strength mage with stats in the wrong area.
Hey, strength mages are not useless.
No, the one I made was useless. That was not a slam on strength mages. It's only a comment on mine that I made. It's
Yeah, everyone messes up their first character.
definitely.
It's almost impossible not to, unless you have a friend who ropes you into the game and yells at you, read guides.
Exactly. But, and I personally know several of my friends who play high-level characters who have a few of these points in areas where you're not supposed to have them. But here's the thing. As your character gets higher and higher in level, these few points in the wrong area actually mean less and less as you get higher, because they're actually a smaller and smaller percentage of your total points that you've assigned. So if you could live with it long enough, you could get to the point where it doesn't really matter all that much.
I'm sure you'll be doing, I don't know, maybe a couple points less damage, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
No. Okay, next email. Next email is from Steven. Hey, Shravan Warez. Okay, now it's my turn to have the name spelt wrong.
Feel my pain, Warez.
Okay. I'm insulted. Okay, I know you hear this a lot, but great job on the podcast. Okay, yeah.
Thanks.
I agree with most of your rants, and I enjoy them. I am a level 45 Ice Lightning in the Barra server, and my IGN is Stevos94. I know you guys hate numbers, but Stevos...
Do we ever say we hate numbers? Possibly. Actually, I think I might have.
Yeah, we talked about IGNs that are like IILL, that sort of thing. Yes,
Right.
I think that's what he means. I know you guys hate numbers, but Stevos is my nickname, and just plain Stevos was taken. Just for fun, I think Nexon should make a new job. The Undead Cleric.
I love it. It can be the only class that is worse than Strength Mage.
It would be awesome because whenever he would use heal, he would just stop. It would be fun. Well, thanks for all your hard work for us nerds.
I'm not saying the fun aspect of this. I mean, you walk up to things, you're taking damage, so you use heal, which kills you instantly.
That's hilarious.
So we thought that needed to be put in just because Undead Cleric cracked us up. I'm surprised that Stevos was taken, though. I mean, it's like it doesn't even sound like anything familiar. Oh, what were you saying, Warez? Sorry about that.
Nothing. Was that
okay? Then.
Was that the end of that email?
Yeah, but Steven has another question. If you'd like to go ahead and take that as well.
Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, next email. Well, actually, yeah, Steven, same guy as before. Or that Steven, okay. What level would you guys consider a noob? I don't think noob has a level. I know level 150 noobs.
Most definitely.
And I know elite players who are level 10. So there you go. I think it's more a matter of your maturity and how gracefully you play the game.
It's just that so many people, because Maple is in its third year, are starting, restart with newer characters just to, try out various classes because they've been sticking with one for so long. That, I mean, I have very rarely run into an actual, new player themselves. Usually it's just people who have main characters and like to brag about them, who are like over level 100 or whatnot. And so it's not, like Warez said, it's all about personality and maturity level is what we consider noobs. People who can't show the maturity level to be able to play an online game without insulting everyone else.
And just acting like a complete idiot.
Some guy, I was training on my archer on the Rocky Masks down in the excavation site.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy walks into the map after I've been there for like half an hour, starts chaosing me, and then asks me to change channels.
That is so common, it's sad.
I don't even understand. I was here first, and he's like, so?
Yep.
I mean, I don't get it.
It happens all the time. It's simply might makes right, which is wrong.
Which is noobish.
Yes. Well, that's a noob.
So that is a noob.
That is a noob right there. Now that player, you might look at him and go, wow, that's a lot of damage. Or he's strong. Nah. He's an idiot.
Exactly. our third to last email is from Chris and KPB2655. Both of them have sent emails pretty much saying the same thing, so we kind of clumped them together. Chris says, "Hello, this is Skort, or Luna Skort, from Windia server. Recently, I decided to make an archer on Windia to see how fun it would be. Archers aren't that much fun. Not at the lower levels.
Yeah, they're a bit of a struggle.
So he says, while leveling from 4 to 10, I realized that my timing in picking up items was slowed and my attack's damage was lagged. I thought it was just me and restarted numerous times before checking Basil and other forums. Turns out there was a new hack called the PG hack, which made hackers even more powerful. Because of Nexon not caring or doing anything, there were so many hackers that the entire server was lagging, preventing me from leveling. It's ridiculous." And yeah, it is. Do you know what the PG hack is about, Where's?
Oh yeah, that's come and gone. The PG hack was a hack that took the power guard skill from warriors and let anybody who's running that script use that skill. And they would run it in various combinations. They would like go up on a platform and then back the monsters and then PG them once they were there in front of them, and then they would back up the droppings or not. There was a couple of different variations on it. The interesting thing about this hack is that, and I don't know the details on it because I didn't get very good at it, there was actually a way to kill these hackers.
Hacker hunting.
What it involved was if the monsters that they were working on used a magic attack, you would attack those monsters and then run past the hacker, and then the monsters would attack the hacker. And since Power Guard, I believe, only works on physical attacks, they would be vulnerable to the magic attack of the monster. Now, as long as they weren't running God mode, then boom, they would be dead.
And you get satisfaction.
I don't know how much good it actually do, but yeah.
But it's supposed to be so much fun killing hackers. It's like a whole other aspect of PvP. Our next email is from Matthew, who says, "Hi, my name is Matthew from the Windia server. I played Darkfire 14. I would just like to know what you think about the new MTS, the Maple Trading System. I heard in episode 12 that you received an email about NX cash for Mesos, and one of you said trading in-game items for NX. And one of you said trading in-game items for NX? ? Also, me and my friends are having a fight about mastery books and what they do and how they work." Alright, well, the Maple Trading System, we talked about it earlier this episode.
Yes, we did.
And it's beautiful, like we said. Helps people who can't get NX in roundabout fashions. And it makes Nexon infinite more money because people can spend actual cash on godly items instead of spending hours and hours, killing things, getting the mesos for them to buy these, godly items. It's going to make them a fortune.
Yes, and that's a good thing for us if they actually spend any of that money on us, which they will because they bring in new maps and stuff
from time to time. Would you like to answer the thing about mastery books, considering you're all fourth jobbish?
Yes. Fourth job involves, depending on your job, a number of core skills which are open to you already, and a number of extra skills which you have to get storybooks or some such to open. Now, I believe all these skills are the same in that you can, once you've opened them, you can level them up to level 10, but then you need another book in order to open them up to level 20. That doesn't mean you get those levels. That means you are able to put points into them to get them up that high.
Right.
So that's what the mastery books do, and I believe, like I said, it's always up to 20 and then up to 30. So it goes in thirds. Now the ones that take your skill up to 20 or open it up to 20, those have a 70% chance of working, and those that will max it out or take it up to 30 have a 50% chance of working. So like a scroll, they can fail, but you can just try again if it does fail. So that's what these mastery books are.
What they do allow, which is actually really cool, is you can actually customize your character. Because you have to collect the mastery books for a certain number of skills, I don't believe... I mean, do you end up having enough points to be able to max out every single skill that you could get from every single mastery book for your job?
By the time you hit 200, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about that.
Because I'm speculating that you actually don't. And so therefore you can actually customize your character based on your interests. Like, for Ice Lightning with mages, you guys have your Blizzard attack, or what's the attack that does the whole widescreen thing?
That's Blizzard.
That's Blizzard? Alright, so you guys have that attack, which is for, widescreen as well.
Right.
But then if you're looking for something faster and more upfront, you might want to invest in Chain Lightning and max that out instead.
Correct.
Now so there's a lot of,
Here's an interesting slant on 4th job.
Mm-hmm.
The availability of mastery books has a big impact on how people actually make their builds.
Exactly.
Now you may say, ideally I would want skill A, but that mastery book only drops from Horntail, and so even if it's even available, it's going to be ridiculously expensive.
Exactly.
So you may pick skill B instead, which has pretty common mastery books that are fairly cheap, or that you could actually go and hunt for yourself.
So the timing of when you hit 4th job is actually pretty crucial.
Right.
Because the rarities might fluctuate from time to time through different patches and whatnot.
Correct.
It's a whole other aspect of the game.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And it sucks because to go back to make a different build or something like that, you have to level back up to 120.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next I'm trying to make it easier for people to get that level faster.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly doing stuff like that.
Very slowly. Alright, our last email is from Justin. And Justin says, I'm not sure about the other servers. But, oh wait, did I read the last one?
Yes, you did. You want me to read this one?
Alright,
I will.
Yeah, you take this one.
Okay.
My apologies.
I was just going to let you read it.
Alright, so Justin says, I'm not sure about other servers, but in Bora, there was a guild hack. It worked by hacking the guild if a member went into a certain place where the guild hackers were, and it got their guild disbanded. My guild got disbanded, and I'm now in a nice guild. So yeah, that's just a little info. Sorry if it's not enough. A little digging might uncover some more. The guild hack actually really interested me, and I've heard that our guild warriors didn't allow mules to go into the free market.
It's one of the precautions that we've been using. There have been 2 waves of hacking since you left the game.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was the PG hack.
Okay.
And then more recently was the guild hack. Now, he talks about places where you are more vulnerable, and FM was one of the big ones. From what I can tell, this started as a hack made by somebody who wanted to attack the powerful FM merchanting guilds. And so they were targeted. Okay. So I don't know if it's limited to FM or if it's just the easiest place for them to do it. But yeah, it was recommended for a long time not to have a gilded character as your store mule. And at the height of this hack, as a matter of fact, when a lot of big guilds were taken down, we actually went into lockdown. That is, the guildmaster temporarily kicked everybody out of the guild except for himself, and then did not go on the character which he used to found the guild. So there was absolutely no way our guild could have been hurt by it.
Oh. So that's what happened, and that's why we have less people now.
That's part of it.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, it is good precautions because, especially, if Hidden Street gets disbanded, then you can have people remaking it and impersonating and everything.
Like there already is.
like there already is. I haven't seen anyone actually impersonating Hidden Street yet.
I haven't seen one of the fake HSers in a long time. But I think they're still out there.
Gotta go hunt them down.
Curse you.
Interesting.
Curse you.
But
believers.
Yeah, the guild hack, I mean, it's not even I mean, like you said, it started toward people who wanted to attack who wanted to attack certain guilds.
Right.
But it's not specific to any guild, is it? It's just anyone who walks into that map with a guild.
It spread after that. Now, this is kind of the funny part, I thought, in a way, that some of the original guilds that were targeted were kind of had bad reputations as possibly hacker guilds themselves. So it was hacker versus hacker at first. So you might
makes for a good sitcom.
Yeah. So you might think, oh, isn't this a good thing, Warez? No, because as soon as it spread, like any hack, once it's made into a script and it gets released, any fool's going to use it. And so it spread after that, and then there was a couple of people just targeted any possible guild they could get at, and a lot of big guilds went down.
It doesn't even provide any like personal benefit. I don't understand why people would use it. It's just hatred toward other people, and it's just hate crimes.
I read something that was kind of like a manifesto by the first one that did it, and they said it was a blow against Nexon or something, but you just, how are you hurting Nexon? You're hurting players.
You're hurting all the end users.
Yeah.
That wraps up emails, I believe. And
yes,
we
sir.
have one voicemail from Cyrossi, I believe.
Cyrossi.
And so let's go ahead and play that, and we are almost done.
Hi, this is Cyrossi from the Bear server, and I have a problem. See, every time I get money, I just waste it, and I need your help. Could you just give some tips on how to not waste money and how to be very conservative and how to market and make more money? Thanks. Go Aqua Road Radio.
So apparently it's pronounced Cyrossi, but Cyrossi wanted to know about the marketing that we actually talked about a little while back, and some marketing tips as well, and how not to squander money.
How not to squander money. Well, we talked about the marketing before, and in future episodes I'll try to give a little bit of what I know, which isn't mastering the field by any means, but I know a few things, so I'll pass them along here and there.
Okay.
But in terms of how not to squander money, a lot of people like to store their money with the storage guy.
Right.
So if you don't have it with your character, there's at least one step there between, if you see this thing in the free market, gotta have it. If you don't have the money with you, you don't have the mesos with you, and you have to walk all the way to the storage guy to get the mesos, it gives you a little bit of time to calm down and think about it. Yes, and so it won't be, it forces it not to be an impulse buy. So if you're vulnerable to impulse buying, that slows you down and gives you a chance to think about it. That's one thing you can do. I mean, if you have another account, you could actually transfer mesos to another character. You're going to pay taxes doing it, but
right. But if you have another character on the same account who can access the same storage, you can have the other character pull out money from the storage, and so you'd have to actually log out and log back in to be able to
correct
shift money back over. You just use a mule as a storage. It's just another bigger step.
Correct.
As well.
Well, yeah, that's the same. Like you just said, that's the same thing, even just farther away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's another thing that I did. I had a goal. My goal was 30 million.
Okay.
I made 30 million. Now, I never touched it after that, except in extreme emergencies. If I wanted something, I had to make mesos above that 30 million. So that was my floor. The 30 was the basement. I had to go above the floor in order to make a new purchase. And that forced me to keep that nest egg sacred and never touch it. And so there was a point when I was about level 45 or so, and I've never been poorer than that ever since.
It's such a really good strategy just in case something big comes up.
Right.
That's something necessary.
Exactly.
As for making money, like we said before, make good predictions on the market. And if you can predict how the market fluctuates, you can buy the right things and sell them for more later. It's a great way of making money. Another good way of making money is pick up everything that drops. A lot of people actually pick up just the money and not the etc. drops that actually monsters end up dropping around that clog up your etc.
Right.
Just selling that, it's, I don't know, you can sell them for maybe, 25 each or 200 each or whatever you're trading on, but it all adds up in the end.
Right.
And when it adds up into the millions.
It sure can. That plays in our initial installment of the Cash Out Best Buys. Because if you're going to collect a lot of these things, you might need a few extra slots.
Right.
So that might be something you want to spend some NX on. I thought it was a good thing to spend NX on. It paid us.
Slots are beautiful, especially at the higher levels. Like you said, the mastery books take up individual slots themselves.
Right, they don't stack one slot per. And so if you get a hold of this book, you might not be able to use it for 30 levels. Wow, good lord. It's going to take up one slot for 30 levels. That's expensive real estate there.
So, can you think of anything else, Warez?
Oh, I could go on. I could go on for a long time, but I think the last thing I'll throw in is not to put all of your eggs in one basket. So don't try to make all of your money off of marketing. Don't try to make all of your money off of hunting. Although I did that at one point. If you spread it around and do different things to make mesos, then if one or two of them fall through, the next one might actually make you a profit. It might not be as much as if you had succeeded in picking the one thing that would make a lot, but at least you're not losing.
Exactly.
You're going in the right direction. So it doesn't really matter how fast you get richer, just as long as you get richer.
It's about saving. A penny saved is a penny earned.
There you go.
So that wraps up everything.
You know what?
Yes.
After editing, we might not have broken the record.
No, we'll be breaking the record.
We will? Okay.
Yeah. We're definitely breaking the record. I'd like to have a special thanks, I'd like to acknowledge, I guess, and thank everybody, especially for everyone who sent me a death threat for leaving Aqua Road Radio for 5 months.
Nice. Now that's class right there, my friend.
I do appreciate the death threats. They don't intimidate me one bit.
We know you, man.
Except for the fact that pretty much everybody has access to all my information, or did at one point. Yeah, that was then I made sure that they wouldn't.
You got smart.
I did. I realized that I had way too much information on my Facebook account, and now there is not as much.
Good for you. Everyone needs to be safe when it comes to these things.
Definitely. I don't mind giving out my name, but when it comes to the address and phone number, that gets a little touchy.
I would never.
A second special thank you to everyone who provided some info with the latest happenings. It was good. I learned a lot, actually.
A lot of responses to that.
Definitely, and we actually got the voicemail from Spazcakes about that, and that's what the 2 voicemails from John were about. And yeah, we just appreciate all the information. It was actually really helpful.
We couldn't possibly
at least get me back on the right track.
Yeah, we couldn't possibly read those because they were all and people put a lot of work into them. So thank you very much. It's appreciated. Even though you must realize we can't read these things on the podcast.
I mean, people wrote essays. I mean, they were long.
Well,
so
people who didn't, you didn't have to go into any great detail. It's just so much stuff that if they tried to summarize it, it went into a really nice long email.
Right. And we do appreciate it. So thanks once again. Where's announcement? Mention the party. Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey guys, we're gonna have the second Aqua Road Radio party. Cool, huh?
It's actually very spectacular. Have we decided on a time and place yet?
Time and place. The date is going to be June 7th. Let me verify that.
8th.
No. I thought it was going to be the 8th.
It's going to be Friday?
No, look at the calendar. Someone pointed this out to me.
Oh, the 7th is Saturday. Where's I completely lost you? Call refused. Talk about technical difficulties. Bum bum bada bum. Bada da 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 dum. Bum bum bada bum. Bada da da dum. Bum bum bada bum. Bada da 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 dum. Bum bum bada bum. Bum bada bum. I actually have no idea. I went to open my my calendar and all of a sudden we weren't connected through Skype anymore. Must have been it. Well, I'm still recording. I figured I'd just cut it out. That's gonna be fine.
Okay, and I'm going again.
Alright.
So I'm just going to start again and say we're going to have our second Aqua Road Radio party.
Did we decide on a time and place yet, Where's?
Yes, it's going to be Saturday, June 7th.
Not the 8th.
Which I had posted wrong at one point, and several comments on the blog site corrected me. Thanks, guys.
You know what's really funny, though?
What's that?
When you first asked me, you said June 7th, and I said it was the 8th, and then somehow, after looking at calendars, we both agreed it was the 8th, and then we were corrected by everybody.
Well, it's a good thing there are people around us who aren't brain dead.
Exactly. That's why we keep them around.
Okay, Saturday. Did we decide on the time? I think we had left that open yet.
Mm-hmm. The place we left open as well, didn't we?
Nope, the place is going to be at Athena Pierce's house in Hennessus. That is the college, the Bowman School, the Archer's School.
Right next to the giant clock waterfall thing?
Yes, and that
Okay.
that screwy NPC Pia or something like that. I don't know. That kind of gives me
her dog suit.
Yeah. What is that? I don't know what that is. Anyway, we're gonna start the party there, and we'll probably spill out of the house into the surrounding area. The beauty of this is it's down. If you don't know where it is, you go to the HPQ place. Ask anybody in Hennessus where the HPQ place is.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep going. You go past the HPQ place to the right, and just keep going, and you'll run into it. Now,
so,
let's decide on a time.
Saturday.
That's the date.
I am free. Oh, I don't know. The parents are always, shopping and all that.
Okay.
So, anytime after 5, I'd say. 5 p.m. Eastern, which would be, 2 p.m. PST? Anytime after that would be fine with me.
Okay. I'm good after probably 7 CST, which is 8. So let's say 8 Eastern Standard Time, which would be
5?
5
Pacific? Okay.
Yes. 5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, be 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at Athena's place.
Yes, sir.
You know what's really weird, though?
What's that?
Athena's a guy.
Weird.
Yeah. One of the things that you I think it was you know that guy Olaf or whatever his name is.
Yes.
In Lith Harbor.
Yes.
You know how you can talk to him before you go to the job place, and you got to go talk to the person and get some amount of experience because Olaf referred you or something.
Correct.
Yeah. So Olaf says go talk to him when you say Athena.
But they get their gender pronouns screwed up so much in this game. I'm pretty sure Athena is a she.
I was pretty sure too, but you never know.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny.
All right. So everybody who comes to the party has a chance to win a door prize. I'm giving away some Maple items.
I will be throwing out some unused Maple trading card game codes.
Whoa. Also, I'm going to do a little bit of summoning.
So beware.
I think I can do that outside in that area there. If not, we're going to have to run to the nearest training map and do it there.
I might throw some out too.
Woohoo! So we'll have
fun.
some fun. We'll have some fun.
Yes. And we'll just mingle and yell at each other and be loud like General.
And take screenshots and do random silly stuff.
Alright, so I think that's all that we had for pre-closing statements. Yeah. So all in all, ideally we'd like to have Aqua Road Radio be kind of a compilation of things that we receive from you guys. Kind of do things like we did with John and Spaz Cakes, where we take a voicemail that you guys send us, throw it directly into the middle of the podcast where it's completely relevant. And if we could do that, and take like the big parts of it, like the things that happen in the patches, if you want to talk about, a party, if you want to do a party quest, write up yourself and talk about that, or a hotspot, or a quest in general.
Newbie Tip.
Just record it and send it in, and if it's spoken well, there isn't too much mumbling, and it's understandable, then we would love to actually just put it directly into the text and have it, have you guys have your voice on here more than we would.
That would be cool, because I am not a good speaker. You can tell from listening to this podcast.
Because Warez had to speak for 33 minutes on that guild party quest. Yeah, so if you guys can come help us out, we'd greatly appreciate it, and you guys would have fun too.
One thing I'd like to tell people, though, is there's two things. Well, actually, two things I want to tell people.
Okay.
Everybody who I suggest this to, basically what you just talked about, I suggest that to them, and they go, "No, I'm shy. I don't like the sound of my own voice." Well, no. You see, it's not the sound of your voice that counts. It's the quality of your information and the spirit that you put into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people are going to hear.
I mean, I don't like the sound of my voice either. But, whatever. It's fun. We're having a blast.
Sure. And I don't like it when I get lost and I stumble over words, but, what the heck.
I think earlier in this episode I tried to say, size and said size, and I don't know, I mixed Z's and S's and Q's all together.
Oh, I was going to say something else, too. Two things.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, once you make a recording, listen to it. I think people send things to us sometimes and don't listen to them. It doesn't matter how much spirit, how well written your piece is. If your microphone isn't plugged in all the way and it's cutting in and out, mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how good it is. We can't use it if it's garbled.
Well, we do understand when people are leaving. We have two ways of leaving voicemails. Both are actually on the website. And the first way is to use the My Chingo box, where you can just record your voice, and you record your voice and hit send, and it lets you directly send us a voicemail. I believe that you can actually listen to your voice before you send it, but I'm not completely 100% positive about that. The second way, though, is to actually call up our phone number, which is actually on the website, and I forgot to actually put in the script, so I don't have it for you guys right now.
No.
But hold on, I'll look that up while I speak. So yeah, you can call the phone number, and the phone number will be just like any answering machine, and you can actually leave a voicemail, kind of like through an answering machine, and it directly send that to us, and you won't be able to listen to that if you do send it through that method.
But both of those methods are limited in time, aren't they? How
yes.
much time? So those could work for perhaps a newbie tip, or just an email.
Right, or just a general question.
Or a question or a comment, but they're not going to work for something longer like a party quest or a party center or something along these lines. You're going to have to get some audio recording software and a microphone.
Hey, I know plenty of you guys are gamer enough that you all have microphones. I know you all play Xbox 360 on whatever the Xbox Live is. And it's a Microsoft product, so chances are there's some way to get it to work with your computer. And it's got the microphone and the headset, so you'll be able to record and just send. And Windows has a sound recorder option in like the accessories or something anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not the best thing in the world.
No, but the quality generally depends on the quality of the mic.
That's true. That's true.
So even if you guys have some things you want to add in, just throw it our way, and it'll be good.
If you want to get a little more involved, you can download Audacity. It's a free sound editing package. I
frustrating editing package.
Well, yeah. If you try to do some more complicated things with it, it can be frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I use it. It works.
It's really nice, actually. Alright, so to contact us, like I said, we have the MyChango box, there's a link directly on our website. It's an online thing. Just go to the Contact Us in the sidebar under Pages, and there should be a link to the MyChango box, and you can leave a voicemail if you have a microphone that plugs into your computer. If not, we have a voicemail phone number. It's 641-715-3900, extension 29728 pound. Don't forget to hit the pound key, because it won't start recording it won't actually take you to the right place unless you actually hit the pound key to verify that you're done typing in the PIN. But an easier way to contact us is through our email at aquaroadradio@gmail.com, and just go to the site more often, check it out. We try to keep you guys updated. For those of you who do check out the site, you should have known about this party for a good week and a half now.
Yes.
So we put up information there from time to time. Just check it. The comments generally are relatively funny. Ooh, speaking of comments, I almost forgot. I have to read this. I gotta find it first, and then I gotta read it.
Oh, there was one comment.
There was one comment that I have to read.
Oh, there's a lot of good comments, but there's one that Shravan really liked. While he's doing that, I'd like to put a thank you out. In previous episodes, we had the issue of, why don't you guys do a video podcast? And we said, yeah, because we stink at it. But there are a couple of listeners who took a shot at it themselves and tried to do some video, Aqua Road Radio related video. First, there's a guildie named Jin the Sin. He did 2 pieces. And both of those are on YouTube. And more recently, a listener named LJ Luzong did a Aqua Road Radio commercial, which is also on YouTube. Now, Jin's stuff is pretty cool. He doesn't have soundtrack to it, I don't believe. LJ's commercial does have music, but it doesn't have any voiceover. That would have been so sweet with a voiceover. But we're going to put links to both of these. All 3 of these.
Right.
So you guys can
so
check
do
them
show
out.
your appreciation as well to them, because they have put a lot of hard work into making these videos.
Yes, I can imagine that's a fair amount of work. So thanks, guys.
It's work we don't know how to do.
Exactly.
So we do appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so I found this comment, and Lyconis posted under episode 13. It's the last post on there if you guys want to read it. It says, he says, hearing your voices makes me think of bunnies dancing in a garden while the sun burns brightly above mankind, while birds and butterflies flutter.
There's your warm fuzzy for the day.
Alright guys, we'll leave you with that, so have a good night. Or, I guess not night, or have a good whatever you're having.
Happy mapling, everybody.